What should I do if I don't like the other person? Then trample him to death. The warning video took 2.5 years. The total production time is 2,453 seconds. Have a breath. Take you to learn about the funny moments of various strange animals and plants. May you always smile. Laugh to death. You can also watch it with your wronged friends. What should I do if I don't like the other person? Then trample him to death. The water habitat in the damn mountain is good. Brothers are really relieved. Learning Tulao, also known as Shue Xiao Xiao. Of course, you can also call him a domineering groundbreaker. Su Xiao Xiao, less than 30 centimeters tall. It's a real little guy. As a famous cute bird on the grassland. They have a deadly skill. Although Shue Xiao Xiao is very cute. But is also very arrogant, adhering to the belief that hard work does not necessarily lead to success. But if you don't work hard, you must be very relaxed. They will forcibly occupy the nest of the owners, coming to nest, and shouted to let the other party leave their new home. Although this kind of behavior does not require effort, but fortunately, it is also very immoral. In this regard, the ownership collectively protested and expressed their dare to provoke. All right. You're tired of soft persimmons. After driving away all the rats, Su Xiao Xiao started his next step, picking up cow dung. They are the famous mascots among birds. I love to collect feces in the early morning. Hearing you go to your face, baby. Well, I don't give cute women the most. 4. Collective feces. On the one hand, it can forge hidden caves. On the other hand, the smell of feces will attract some prey. This allows for self-defense. It can also solve the problem of food and clothing. It can be said that it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Shue Xiao Xiao's appearance is not low. Presumably their children are not much different. Come on, let's look at something else. In this area, Shue Xiao Xiao also has another good neighbor, American Huan, just like his cousin Pingtu brother. He is also a militant. He usually feeds on rats and Shaolei. At this moment, he took advantage of Zhao's mother going out to pick up dung, targeted the cubs who were less than half a month old. The cubs also sensed the danger, quickly hid in the school district room. The precursor to the American Joy that has been mixed in black and white all year round. Very sharp, and has a good ability to dig holes. In the face of impending danger, the cubs were also frightened. Fortunately, Shue Xiao Xiao also has a set of life-saving skills. What are you doing? In fact, in order to scare away the other party, they mimic the sound of rattlesnakes. Try to make the other party dare not provoke easily. Fortunately, this method really worked. In the end, America Huan chose to retreat without knowing the strength of the other party. Lie down wherever you fall. It's going to be so young that you can sleep with your head in your arms. This scene made the squirrels in the trees laugh out loud. Although bobtails can eat squirrels, but the squirrels said, "I'm not only brave and strong." The plan is to notify the family. The wind and snow pressed me for 2 or 3 years, and the total is 5 years. Canadian relics are the embodiment of the dragon seeing the beginning and the end. Hence the name, bobtail cats as cats in the wild. Bobtail cats have a good ability to bounce. Just use a little force. Hey! You can easily deal with death. Although he slipped and fell into the water. But fortunately, there is encouragement from neighbors. In the face of the other party's ridicule, bobtails are very angry. He also said, "Although you see me ridiculous, but I think you are also very delicious." This time it is bound to catch the duck and give them the care in place. So the bobtail cat came up with a good idea. Good. First of all, Mau Mau secretly observed. Then quietly approach. Finally, attack when the opponent is not paying attention. Such behavior not only does not emphasize martial virtue, and very cunning. It's really cunning. Sure enough, the luck of the laughing duck will not be bad. Because of poor luck, you basically can't laugh. although failure is terrible. But the success of friends is even more worrying. The scene of the bobtail cat catching prey happened to be seen by the neighbor capsule on the side. Emotions. With only an appetite, he planned to snatch the food of the bobtail. Before I could get close, I ate my mouth. Then grab a hair. Askerly grab a hair. Ultimately, Jiao Lang decisively chose to live between the rising qi and the nest sack. Fortunately, not far from walking out, Jiao Lang saw the remains of a wild pure cattle and horse. Worried about being snatched by nearby gray wolves, Jiao Lang had no choice but to take a piece of meat and leave. Finally, I don't have to be hungry now. Sure enough, luck is coming soon. What should I do if you leave quickly? Then touch the neighbor's long legs. Don't get me wrong. I just thought, no. You are guilty. Well, the wise do not fall in love. Drowning is not responsible. The smallest horse in the world of pygmy monkeys. The height of an adult is only about 10 centimeters, equivalent to the size of your human middle finger. And the juvenile pygmy furry monkey is only 3 centimeters tall, equivalent to the size of a ping pong ball. Right? Just such a horse with no characteristics to learn from it. The first thing I do when I get up every day is to tease the green silk long legs next door. Hello, can you make a friend? Well, come on, since friend can't do it. Then repeat the attack. Made a friend. Well, after eating the old branches of a neighbor in the 82nd year of the celebration, as omnivores, when the pygmy monkey has nothing to eat, will choose to gnaw on branches to satisfy their cravings. Although the bark is very shady to gnaw, but fortunately, the taste is not good either. A branch like snot is a tendon. Cooking is certainly happy, but beware of auspicious signs from above. The forest is really big. All monkeys have howler monkeys. As the 6th child in this rainforest, it will always take advantage of the velvet monkey when he is nearsighted. Fly freely above their heads. In this regard, such as, the monkey can only choose between anger and nest chi. According to the study, for example, the velvet monkey is very dedicated to feelings. They practice monogamy, and every couple is born with twins. And you don't want to pick up everything in front of the screen. This will only harm you. After all, if you are single, you have to find a partner first. Everyone who has given birth to twins knows. Raise the child Alexander to raise the cub velvet monkey. Dad had to go out to catch prey. Fortunately, not long after, I met a cute caterpillar. And the other party is not easy to mess with. In the face of danger, he hit the insect head in a fit of anger. It turned out to be a tongue. This scene directly stunned the velvet monkey on the side. What I didn't expect was that this grandson actually knows the art of war. Ultimately, caterpillars rely on excellent camouflage. Successfully scared away the other party. You've heard of parasitic horses and parasites. In a small fig, there is a terrifying living environment. Since what is about to be discussed may subvert your cognition, so adults should watch under the supervision of children. Inside each fig is the corpse of countless insects. What 90% of people don't know is that figs actually have flowers. It's just that they bloom the flower inside the fruit. Therefore, causes bees. Animals such as butterflies cannot pollinate it. But there is no way to endure. In order not to make figs without consequences, the female Long Xiaofeng took the initiative to stand up and provoked the beam of feeding figs for pollination. At the bottom of each fig, they set aside a secret passage. But the passage is extremely narrow. Therefore, Rong Xiaofeng want to go in. Not only will he break his wings, they even squeeze out their own internal organs. There's no turning back arrow when opening the bow. Now there are only 2 roads in front of Rong Xiaofeng. One is to arrive at the destination. The second is to reach the purpose. When Rong Xiaofeng entered the inside of the fig, the entrance to the fig passage will be closed for delivery. For some late female bees, even if you squeeze your head, you can't enter this mechanism. It seems seamless. In fact, it is not like that. Another type of old sixth who does not talk about martial arts also quietly mixed into the fruit through the Trojan horse agent. When Rong Xiaofeng first arrived at his destination, The nematodes parasitic in his body drilled out. They will multiply rapidly here. Prepare for the parasitic next generation, Rong Xiaofeng. But Rong Xiaofeng had no time to take care of it, because his life has entered the countdown. At this moment, he must lay eggs as soon as possible and pollinate figs. The flowers of figs develop when stimulated. Adult fly. Thus, it plays a role in nourishing insect eggs. After all this, female bees can be lucky enough to survive to death. However, there is only one life. But there is more than one fatal thing. The external parasitic wasps of figs. It has begun to attack unhatched bee eggs, although they cannot enter the fruit. But it has an ovipositor that is longer than its own body. It can pierce figs and lay the eggs on the eggs of the small bee, then wait for the eggs of the dragon bee to hatch, thus killing the young bees. Although the parasite's discipline seems perfect, but there are strong hands. Another type of parasitic wasp with a smaller physique. But sitting aside, put away the fisherman's prophet. Although their spawning period is slender, but he is particularly good at using other people's holes to lay his own eggs. The opponent's front foot has just been pulled out. They put their hind feet in it and lay the eggs on the eggs of parasitic wasps. At this time, the inside of the fig was already in a mess. It contains eggs laid by small bees, eggs laid by nematodes parasitizing in the body of the small bee, parasitic eggs laid by parasitic bees on the eggs of the small bees. There are also small parasitic wasps that live in parasitic wasps, parasitic eggs of parasitic eggs that parasitize on parasitic bee eggs. 2.5 months later, figs ripen one after another. The male Rong Xiaofeng was the first to hatch. They have a strong voice, can easily bite through insects and flies. Nothing special, but the first thing he did was to find the female eggs in the insect flies, then bite open the shell of the other person for mating, with genitals twice as long as their own body. Let the female bee become pregnant before hatching. It's outrageous. Open the door to Li Pu outrageously. Arrived home. Meanwhile, the young of a nematode have also completed their growth, began to parasitize on the newly pregnant female bee, but does not kill the female bee immediately, because the female bees that still rely on them take them to find the next fig to breed. And the first thing that a young pregnant female bee hatches, it is to put the pollen inside the fig into the chest pouch, convenient for feeding the next fig for pollination. The magic is, the eggs of parasitic wasps also need male dragon bees to rescue them, and they look similar to Rong Xiaofeng, in addition to the long tail. After he finished all this, the male dragon bee will dig a passage inside the fig with its breath. It is convenient for the female bee to fly away. When the channel is opened, the lifespan of the drone bee will also come to an end. Female bees also have little life left in the next few hours to carry fig pollen and nematodes. Find a new host parasitism as soon as possible. Start the next outrageous life. The male kangaroo's superpower is that 2 nails are missing. But my fact is breath doesn't have any egg packets. Of course, there are also some lucky ones who were not kicked out, but it will also be made into a pendant by a 2-horned beast. Hang it in the store as a handicraft. Sell. Don't want the Green Mountain building outside the mountain. Don't worry if the balls are gone. Kangaroos mainly live in Australia, our country. They are Australia's national treasures, often relying on its enormous racial numbers. Do all evil. Not only will it lock the monkey of the second dog, even dared to make a move with the 2-horned beast. Besides, kangaroos also have a cute skill. That's Rin Rain. Rin wants to hear from you. Hi. Elongating the ears. Increase vigilance. Nerve cells are on full alert. Although kangaroos usually behave very arrogantly. But don't worry, because there is also a group of vigilantes living ham. We immediately took the dingo. They are Australia's top predators in their skill at team combat. Woo woo woo. The kangaroos were all frightened, but fortunately, the kangaroo is not slow. The stomach becomes dog food for wild dogs. The wallaby will hide in its mother's pouch. Let's go. Although this can ensure the safety of wallabies, but it will also increase the weight bearing of the kangaroo mother. Of course, no matter how heavy it is, there is no mortgage for cattle and horses. Fortunately, kangaroo mother, with a strong desire to survive, successfully ran away from the mouth of the wild dog. The child also successfully ran away. On the sixth night, the electric light wave has not yet had time to say goodbye. The wallabies left their mothers, although it is extremely grief-stricken. But the kangaroo mother believes that her children and grandchildren have their own blessings. Without children and grandchildren, I enjoy myself. Since the tuba practice is useless, then make another trumpet. So he was contested for a courtship fist. It is inevitable that the martial arts competition will attract relatives. But both sides were captured. This courtship power has used its own housekeeping skills. Not only does it have Ali's footsteps and Tyson's tricks, it also uses its tail as a pillar. Attack the next 3 steps. Just when the two sides were about to decide the winner, the girl and the little fresh meat got into the woods. Ajahn fell in love with Ah-chan. Sure enough, love is like a banana is not green. It's yellow, and it may be dark when it's your turn. What should I do if I'm worried that my child will grow up and suffer? Then eat him. More care, love more, and eat more. My son needs more calcium. After all, let the child lose at the starting line. It's better than losing at the end. Save a run, right? It turns out that Christmas Island in Australia, during the rainy season, there will be tens of millions of bloody migrations. The purpose is to rush to the beach to attend the annual birthday party. And our protagonist and her rich husband are among them. Although this journey is long, but fortunately, it is not safe. Finished. My husband was attacked by a coconut blood who did not talk about martial arts. Looking around, the body of the ex-husband's brother who died could no longer die. The protagonist decisively chose to run away. Slipped away. He believes that the most important thing at the moment is to live in the moment, and slipped away from the present of the leaf crab. After all, the Green Mountains are there, not afraid of the protagonist who successfully escaped without love. In the blink of an eye, I was favored by another red crab that was not a female. At this time, the other party spoke. Sister, I like you. It's as unreasonable as your mother beating you. Perverted, no. I'm not a pervert. It's true love. Let me be a stumbling block on your path to singleness. The protagonist obviously can't resist the other party's sugar-coated shells. Immediately started climbing training on the barbed wire during the online dating season. In order to show the benefits of having money, the new husband, I couldn't wait to climb up and demonstrate. First of all, climbing is to grab hard with the front foot. Then he followed with his hind foot. In the end, it will be a success. After the end of online dating, the two sides started the rest of the journey. There was a road with endless traffic ahead. There are only 2 paths in front of them now. One is to arrive at the destination. The second is to reach the purpose. In order to reflect the courage that males should have, the protagonist's new husband walked over first. If nothing else happens this time, the accident is over and my husband can't sleep. The protagonist looks at the other person's corpse. Tears flowed out of the corners of his mouth unconsciously. But they're still their own people. Eat with confidence. Although the process is very tortuous. But fortunately, the protagonist successfully arrived at his destination. This place has long been full of troubles. Siegi's carnival also kicked off. Hey. They will use Douyin to excrete crab eggs from the body. All right. The scene of 50 million red shoes jumping at the same time is spectacular. 2 weeks later, the crab eggs on the beach hatched successfully, and the crab mother is also overconsumed by the jumpy. Chose to eat the child to replenish his physical strength. Although it is said that tiger poison does not eat its offspring. But my son is really delicious. The little beetle just went out. Although the old milk grave is not polite to eat others. But the chameleon said it was really fragrant, haha. Let's take a look at the chameleon's cousin. A fish that is about to drown boils a fish. Name implies. It is named lungfish because it breathes with its lungs. And you breathe through your lungs. So you're a lung man. The so-called ancient creature on Earth, herring, it already existed about 400 million years ago, although they also breathe through gills. But they had a surface to ventilate every once in a while. Otherwise, you will drown. Although the story about boiling fish. There are also many songs that have sung that love really needs courage to face the six-eyed boiling fish. Love really needs courage to face the lungs, and the words are deadly. Back to the point. The dry season in Africa is as dry as the dry season in Africa. When the dry season comes, the water source here is depleted. The previous puddle also turned into mud. Most fish will suffer from low water levels. Gradually, he died of thirst. Daddy boy. Then is dried into dried fish. At this time, the herring will become a solitary swimmer. A solitary cave gushes out before the puddle dries up completely. Well, good. After arriving at the school district room, herring curls up. Then the whole body secretes a kind of mucus. It is used to prevent water loss. What follows is a long dormant period. Wait for the rainy season to come. The good news is, this year's rainy season in Africa came early. The bad news is, herring hidden in the soil was taken away by Brother Hay, made into a brick. Herring said, he thought he was an ingredient, but I don't want it to become a building material today. 5 years later, after being washed by rain many times, the adobe bricks also loosened, and herring was finally able to regain his freedom. 5 years and 5 years. You know, I know that as night falls. He sneaked out of the wall. With a surging mood, I returned to the water that I thought about day and night. As the water level continues to rise, the flying fish that have just returned to the water have not yet fully adapted to the environment here. It must surface at this moment. Breathing is over. This really turned into an ingredient. There's really only one life. Fatal matters, but there is more than one. Who would have thought that Yaya was still alive before she died? Didn't you see it clearly? Don't worry. Let's rewind the picture and look at it again. Hello, parents. Let's wish him peace. It is a creature that can fly extremely fast. Especially good at what sand only flashed for a moment. Yaya died violently on the spot. Oil loss is an air killer. Wherever you go, it can be said that the geese pass by the sound. When the bird passes through the flowing oil bamboo shoots to hunt, the speed of subduction can reach 390 kilometers per hour. This speed is even 40% faster than ordinary high-speed rail. Its unique biostructure became the prototype of the B-2 bomber. Furthermore, once the prey is locked, the body will shoot out like a cannonball. Inflict a fatal blow on your prey. It's so fast that it's going to damn it. Even you and I are beyond reach. But even at such a fast speed, it can only be ranked second among birds. As for who is the fastest, it should be your friend who is less than 3 seconds haha. The reason why oil bamboo shoots are called oil bamboo shoots, it's because their usual approach is indeed a bit detrimental. He often relied on his speed to sneak up on other animals. For example, let the pelican bathe. The ravens flew to Huiding. Even Lao Long, who is known as the overlord of the air, without preparation, will also be played by the bamboo shoots. The reason why I go back to QQ is that I have bamboo shoots is so arrogant. Thanks to his unique body structure, their wings are tapered and very compact. Compared with other birds, the wide wings. With the wings of bamboo shoots, it is more suitable for diving long, hard feathers. It can cut through the air, effectively reduce air obstruction. Furthermore, it damages the structure of the nostrils. It also allows it to reduce the speed of the airflow during diving. This solves the problem of excessive pressure during subduing. It can cause choking problems. The most awesome thing is its bright eyes. Unique retinal structure, so that he can easily see his prey 3 kilometers away. With the above characteristics, he incarnates in the air during the day. The slippery loves to bully other birds when he has nothing to do. Even the owl, known as the killer of the night, did not let go. In his regard, the owl never holds a grudge. Because he has a grudge. I reported it in the evening. Although the owl's combat effectiveness at night is very strong, but there is no way out with bamboo shoots. At least there is a dead end. Drought dark. Do you think this is your home? Kimmy, no. This is the most ferocious Shao in Michigan. Come and give everyone a cover, and that you are back. That you are back. Hello. Gudong goo goo. Hello. I also want to fool around the cougar, a creature that sleeps early for a long time. Usually go to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. The female cougar in front of me, raising a few cute little junior brothers. The full moon is just 30 days old. They don't gnaw grass, only gnaw on the old. In order to feed the little ones with a handful of urine, our protagonist had no choice but to go out hunting. Fortunately, as soon as I went out, I met a round camel. Case, then rush. Home. Although Yuan is a vegetarian, but his combat effectiveness is not vegetarian. However, the protagonist thinks that the weak will complain about the environment. The strong can adapt to the environment, and the dead were already stiff. Although this hunt ended in failure. But fortunately, he was kicked. Ha ha ha, forget it. It's better to take advantage of the daytime to go back to the nest to catch up on sleep. After all, you have to rest at night. The south wind blows to wake up the stream. He is also anxious because of you. As a well-known privileged student in this area, the protagonist needs to sleep 3 8-hours in a day. Otherwise, it is easy to get sleepy. Sleeping is good, but is often disturbed by cubs. A few little Avengers beside him. Let the protagonist feel the beauty of life transmission. Come on, let's continue to hunt. The protagonist once again stared at the round lump. Learn from the last failure. He said, this time I was bound to let the other party know what my father's name was. Do you want to pretend? Put down the underwear. Let go and let go. Put down the load in place. It could be seen that Yuan Tuo rejected this funeral and escape again. Then eat a hare. I really ate a hare. Although it failed again. Fortunately, this failure was also very successful. This scene was shown to the melon-eating masses on the side. Smiled. He's dead. Releasing 2 tigers into Africa, only to find out. It turns out that the horses on the grassland are mixed with black and white. Even the fish swimming in the water grew 4 legs. Ashore, running. Even the usual chickens are several times larger. Besides, there are also scapegoats, black horses, and single dogs. Well, looking at these animals that have never been seen before, the tiger that came to the grassland for the first time did not dare to act rashly. But as the saying goes, young people are fearless. So they had to take the calf first. A rhinoceros weighing 2 tons. Yes, as the second largest animal on land, the combat effectiveness is explosive. It starts to go crazy and can easily make your local area bloom. When he first saw the tiger, he said, although there are many nuts on the grassland that are scalded to your mother's name, but this is the first time I've seen a tattooed person. So he decided that the rivers and lakes were dangerous. Walking ambulance. The scene in front of him was stunned by Peng Peng, who was drinking water on the side. He also wanted to challenge the truth. You don't give too much to others. The guy deliberately said, try it. Peng Peng didn't figure it out until he died. The combat effectiveness of these 2 golden sword layers would actually be so strong. This scene almost didn't make the neighbors on the side laugh to death. I laughed to death. After teaching the black and white zebra, they transferred their bladders to the ostriches in turn. After all, pheasants in the mountains often have this kind of long legs wearing fur. It was the first time they met, so they decided to give each other one-step care. although ostriches can reach speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour. But the two tigers didn't care. Because of the tiger, the two tigers are running fast. In the days that followed, the two tigers are considered to have let go of themselves, whether it is flying in the sky or running on the ground. Even a male leopard hanging on the tree is all income. Tiger's mouth. It can be regarded as a real experience of the joy of the buffet. Over time, the indigenous people of the area saw them. It's like seeing the play god. Turn your head and run. Besides, even in the face of the crocodile that is the overlord in the water, it is true. After all, in their cognition, you are a big fish. Small fish are fish. It should be under the control of the cat. The arrogant behavior of the tiger also caused the dissatisfaction of a lion on the grassland. So he is bound to let the tiger know who is the real overlord. Really, tattoos are still more ruthless than permed ones. This is the first time that you humans have filmed the scene of Li Huan being bitten by a group of African wild dogs. As the most fearless creature, although Brother Pingtu is not afraid of death. But I'm afraid of pain. Flat-headed, white-haired, silver, cloak, African continent. My fiercest honey is also known as Brother Pingtu. Life and death are not convinced. Just do it as his cheerful motto. As the most difficult creature to kill, he is not dying every day. It is on the way to death. On Monday, the same bee was found to have stung 106 times. Since the last time I was stung for stealing honey. It's still last time. But fortunately, it's okay this time. Tuesday was nailed to the ostrich egg. Was found again. You know, the ostrich has strong feet. It can even kick a lion to death. But after seeing clearly that the person who came was Brother Pingtu, I can only run away. Wednesday, climbing trees and digging birds' nests and falling for trees. Hey. It's still okay. Oh, Thursday prepared for the hourly wild desert crayfish. Unexpectedly, just as he was about to put his mouth down, he was covered. Because, well, when the toxicity passes, it's still okay. Wait until Friday to encounter a highly toxic spicy strip. The two just looked at each other briefly. Well, that one realized the split action. Brother Pingtu's daily life just wants to kill you, or you might be killed by everyone. Until they encountered the grassland. Third brother. Africa. Wild dog. They're the deadliest predators in Africa. As long as they catch their prey, can be lucky to live to death. Although the predation success rate of wild dogs is as high as 85%, ranked first in Africa. But don't forget, flat-headed brother is the most iron creature in Africa. Just say that the head is iron. What I didn't expect was that. The honey badger's fur is very tough, thick, and the skin is separated from the muscles. Its texture is like biting into a greased leather ball. Although the teeth of wild dogs are very sharp, but there is no way to leave. In an hour and a half, that is 3.5 hours, after a half-dead wild dog had to choose to give up, finally left angrily. And Brother Pingtu lay on the spot and continued to eat honey. It really smells. High-altitude shells are a skill that every Brazil nut must master. Even if it falls from a height of 40 meters and smashed to the ground at a speed of 130 kilometers per hour, its surface is still intact. The hard shell is equipped with a strong impact. Even if Newton stood below back then, it also becomes 5 tons. Then he can't find gravity. Instead, he burped directly. It stands to reason that Brazil nuts have thick skins, and the surface is very hard. This will cause the seeds to be unable to break out of their shells and germinate. But this guinea pig didn't want to be reasonable. Their teeth are very hard. Every time you can bite the shell of Brazil nuts, thus freeing the seed. Besides, the agouti is still the most timid rat like a mouse. It can only survive on the scraps of other animals every day. Although this practice will make you feel very cowardly, but in fact you feel right. However, for some nuts that cannot be eaten, since you can't eat in. Then pack it up and take it away. You then find a hidden place to bury the nuts. The advantage of this practice is that it can avoid being found by other animals. Of course, you can also make yourself unable to find it. An inch of time, an inch of gold. 3 inches of time, 1 heart. Time flashed to the second year. Spring. It seems like only a year has passed since last spring. With the moisture of the rain, the seeds of Brazil nuts in the past have also taken root and sprouted at this moment. Drilled out of the ground. Rushed to the clouds, the mountains, well, on the other hand, the way the dipterocarp tree treats children is much gentler. In order to allow the seeds to take root safely, he was equipped with a parachute for each seed. Whenever ripe, it will fall from the crown of the tree. They spin and fly. It's like elves flying into the future. Silence. How far has it gone? When I raised my head, I suddenly realized. One is backward, retrogressing to the origins stubbornly. Persist in fighting the world. Suju loves to eat the seeds of Longdao fragrant tree, but this is not difficult for the fragrant tree mother. They will drop thousands of seeds at once. Try to protect yourself by holding the other person to death. Curiosity. Scare the monkey across the river. Right, yes, right? This is the best documentary in 1975 that can make people laugh to death. It was a group of unintentional performances. Funny animals that just want to live. Among them, harmful groups of horses. The scapegoat. Birds in the early stages and single dogs. Of course, there are also monkeys who know how to use big windmills. I'm grateful. Well, and, hey. Although the picture quality is completely lost. But the acting skills are online. The laughter is even more constant, because the following content is too nerve-wracking. So please close your eyes and watch carefully in front of the screen. This is the Namib Desert in Africa. Summer is here. It's time for the annual Yao Baboon session again. Three sons, three him. Mom hasn't been the elephant hitting the trunk yet. Just to get the hemp milk fruit on the tree. When the fruit is sprinkled all over the earth, the other animals saw an opportunity. Eat the fruit under the tree with relish. I have to say, free things are not only delicious, but also good, okay? The pain fruit is delicious. But once you eat too much, the pulp will ferment in the body. This is a wonderful chemical reaction, commonly known as Shanto. There is wine today, and today I am drunk. Tomorrow life will not be tired. Wine means to know how many thousands of glasses can be drunk. It's rare to have a few times in life. If you're drunk, you must drink in place. When life is proud, you must have fun and raise your wine glass. It's just you and not get drunk. I'm not drunk. Road Street. Who will sleep? 9 block characters. I'm nagging all over the world. Just like the waves have all kinds of grievances. He smiled. I lower my head. Yamalito Tayer. Stagger. Refusing to overturn the 9 miles of heaven and earth. I know the 5 most frequent alcoholics. Only at this time, the whole world revolves around you. Good night, Makabaka. It turns out that, although the wine is good, but don't be greedy. Furthermore, in the Namib Desert, in addition to this group of animals that make people laugh, there is also a group of aborigines who are not allowed to swear. They usually make a living by eating. If you're hungry, go cosplay and steal an ostrich egg. He first used camouflage to lower the vigilance of the ostrich mother, then slowly approached the bird's nest. Theoretically, this method is easy to use, but the mother ostrich does not accept theory. Ah, fuck. I don't want to come again. And so he ran. He chases after him, and it is difficult to fly. Under the powerful offensive of the bird mother, the buxoman could only retreat one after another. Fortunately, I picked up the branches on the side in time for self-defense. That's why I escaped by chance. Risky. Summarized the experience after the failure of the stealing. The bushman sent the strongest hunter of the tribe, well when ill too. When way you in Benosis. He nailed his bladder to the black and white zebra. At this time, you only need to quietly lower your figure again. Then wait for the right moment. Finally, shoot with a bow. It was actually yellowed by the first bird. Come on. Continue this time in another place. He transferred his bladder to the pure deer man on the side. Once again, Jean Commune was stirred up again. It seems that the eyes of a bird cannot be hidden. The spirit of self-sacrifice is not only commendable, it's still delicious. With the bang of a towering tree, a battle for sunshine has also begun. The first to appear is the No. 1 seed, Monstera, that has been lying underground for 5 years. Yes, hello. At this moment, the day of the rise has finally arrived. Do you have a sense of public morality? This noisy release. I don't have to sleep. Saying goes, one meridian gives birth to all things. The wide leaves and amazing growth rate of the Elm Island Baichow, steam Monstera, can quickly cover the entire area in a few days. Thus, other plants were quickly strangled in the cradle. But the passion flower on the side didn't care. As a rare soup wash in this battle for sunshine, in the spirit that hard work does not necessarily succeed. But if you don't work hard, you must be very relaxed. Passion flower only needs to wait for the Monstera to grow to a certain height. He gently waved his little leather whip, and then take advantage of the Monstera's inattention. You can entangle each other to death. Don't say goodbye, don't hurt. This operation can not only wrap the other parties on unfolded leaves, you can also absorb nutrients from the other person's body at will. Although this kind of behavior does not require effort. Fortunately, it is also very immoral. Just when the two sides are fighting to the death, the Brazil nut tree, with a long reflection arc on the side, has just reacted. Hello. But fortunately, they have their own way of living. The roots of the Brazil nut tree are intertwined. Other Brazil nut trees secretly deliver nutrients to their younger brothers. With this kind of behavior of the old sixth who is involved in the power movement, let him easily win at the starting line in this almost crazy plant battle. Are you very good at fighting? You said it's a fart. You have to have strength when you come out to play. There must be context. Just when the winner of this battle was a foregone conclusion. But there are always some positions. I don't want to accept my fate. It's up to me. It is not up to heaven to be a demon or a fairy. My ivy relies on the sucker like adhesive points in the roots and perseverance. Let him cling to the big tree in this fierce competition. Climb up step by step. I want to climb up one step at a time. Standing at the highest point with the blades moving forward. Can you keep your mouth shut? If you cross into a tadpole, although he is ugly, fortunately, you don't live long. But fortunately, you are not an ordinary tadpole. Your parents are famous Karari in the rainforest, right? Although they're the most venomous frogs in the world. But he loves his children very much. Not only let children enjoy the treatment of single-tile shoulder wrapping, we'll also patrol the neighborhood from time to time to ensure the safety of children. The purpose is to prevent a cutie like you from jumping out. You will only die of thirst alive due to the excessive number of children of poison dart frogs and distributed in different directions. As a result, some careless poison dart frogs will get lost and remember the wrong location of the child. You're doing well. Although the living environment in the rainforest seems dangerous, in fact, it is not safe at all. After all, if you're lucky, when you encounter other creatures, they're at most green. If you're unlucky, when you encounter the same kind, you have to go east and west. So now the question is, everyone knows that poison dart frogs are very toxic. Will the poison dart frog be poisoned by the poison dart frog? The answer is, it won't be because tadpoles are not poisonous. Haha, dad boy. The bad news is that the tadpole went to be reincarnated as soon as it was reincarnated. The good news is, the protagonist is mostly a cousin who comes to see poison dart frogs. Another male poison dart frog. He has been single for many years. The longest relationship you have ever found is narcissism. In order to avoid his own life of clear soup and little water, was rumored by the ant at the entrance of the village. He decided to find a girl to get rid of his boring single life. Thankfully, although he is old and ugly, but the car and the house are also absent. However, he believes, although the melon I want to twist is not sweet, hey, but it must be very thirst-quenching. This scene was also seen by the husband on the side of the girl. Rivals meet, extremely jealous. The war is about to break out. I don't want to live anymore. Is it after a battle later? The protagonist lost, although the girl didn't get it. Fortunately, he was beaten. That's nice.